dancing with the shadows on the bedroom wall. Silhouettes of memories that I can't recall. Trying to be ready for the call, trying not to fall, ready for the landfall. Rolling way too slow to win this human race. Gotta travel light through this desirable maze. The miles are leaving traces on my face, signs of falling grace, filling up the empty space. But heaven knows I'm getting so much better every day. Yeah, baby, can't you see? It's easy as ABC. We will carry one another on this path, yeah. Even though my feet are barely finding solid ground, I'm getting much closer now. We'll find a way somehow. We prepare one another to the landfall, until the landfall. We're rolling way too fast to just enjoy the ride. Feeling too much hunger to stay bona fide. Lonely in a crowd we abide, petrified. We could be unified. But heaven knows I'm getting so much better every day. Yeah, baby, can't you see? It's easy as ABC. We will carry one another on this path, yeah. Even though my feet are barely finding solid ground, I'm getting much closer now. We'll find a way somehow.
Here's a hard request to make peace with your body. Oh, that's kind of hard, but sometimes, we're really self-critical, but don't be self-critical. Make peace with your body. Life gets better when we accept what we've got, and you are way better than you think you are. You really are. Give yourself credit for what you've got. We don't see ourselves accurately anyway. We are so overly critical of ourselves. You got to let that go. Be kind to yourself starting right now. I'm Jan, this is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. Today's practice, every day our practices are different, but today's practice is all seated. We're all on the ground. So you just do what you can with what you got, enjoy what you got, and you're gonna get some good stretches on. Bottom of the screen says do what's right for your body, don't hurt yourself. If something hurts, back out of it, you know that. Don't do it. Just have fun with it. Let this time be your peaceful time, your little happy hour on your mat. Okay, let's get started. You can modify, do whatever you like, but let's do this. All right, so stress number. Lock in a stress number in your mind. Scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. What is it? Let's bring that number down as you find peace in your body. All right, so come on down. Sit however you want on your mat. You have your props, maybe a couple of blocks. Maybe you might even have your blanket and your strap. We're going to do both with a strap because I mentioned that the other day. All right, so sit however is comfortable. Maybe you've got your legs long, totally fine. I'm gonna bend my legs and I'm gonna take that Sukhasana pose. So this is the one where you bend one knee a lot, you bend the other knee and bring that leg up on top. Place the sole of the foot on the opposite thigh, the top knee. You could use a block underneath that knee. If that feels better, put it at whatever height works, or no block at all. You can bring the bottom foot also up and place it on the leg. That hip doesn't bend that way. So Let's settle in. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big sighing breath out through your mouth. However you're sitting, it's just perfect. This time is just for you to sit and be at peace and just kind of let the outside world go. Take a deep breath in and a deep sighing breath out of your mouth. Just be aware of your breath. Really important. Deep breaths. Into the nose. Sigh it out softly, sweetly through the mouth. Let it go. All right, as you're sitting here with your eyes closed, finding your internal peace, let the outside world go. Be aware of the temperature of your room. Be aware of how the mat feels underneath you. This is just your little tropical island of peace. Here's a word to maybe think about for a moment or two. The word is body, and body means, it's your physical structure, right? It's the shell, the temple. It's just your physical mass. But think of it as also including your mind and your soul. The soul may be the most important part, and soul is the most important part. All of these make up you and who you are. Find peace as you find harmony in the union of all three of these things: your body, your mind, and your soul. That's what yoga means, the union of the body, the mind, and the soul. Take a deep breath in. And a deep sighing breath out. So it's only when you have the union of those three, your body, finding peace in your body, your mind, and your soul, that you find happiness. Little trick along the way to help you do that is come up with a little mantra inside your head, a little self-meditative comment that's positive for you. I am fill in the blank. I am capable, I am able, I am worthy, I am good enough, I am strong, I am calm. Whatever works for you today, maybe it's another word, repeat that in your mind over and over. Breath in, and breath out. Lift your arms on up to the sky. You can keep your eyes closed, I'll talk you through it. Lift your arms on up to the sky. Let your chest lift up too. Maybe wiggle your fingers. Breathe in, breathe out. With your hands now, bring them down to behind your back. Take a little, like a baby back bend. Let your chin go up toward the sky. Maybe put your hands on the ground as like a kickstand. Lift your chest up. Keeping the eyes closed, hinge forward now. Let your two hands come forward and let them just slide forward on your mat. You could also use a block. I don't know, maybe that's a little more fun. Slide your hands forward. Take it slowly. Feel the stretch in the hip of that leg that's on top. Maybe slide the block a little farther forward, or not. Just kind of get into it here. Kind of let go. Get your mind out of your body. More easily said than done. Don't be self-limiting. Don't think, ooh, I can't, I gotta stop. As long as it doesn't hurt, just uncomfortable, hang out here for a little bit and just see what happens. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Breathe it out. We're taking it slow today. Just letting the stretches happen. And just relaxing in your body. No rush, no hurry. Send one of those long exhales to your hip. Just let it go. Breathe through it and create space in the hip. Slowly bring it on back, and you can stay longer if you want. It's up to you, your call. So slide the block on back, slide your hands on back so you got your shoulders over your hips. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, walk your hands just a little forward on the mat, not very far, just a couple inches ahead of your ankles. And then spider walk your fingers over to the right or left, however far you want to take them. And then just settle here for a second or two, keeping both bottom cheeks down. And then spider walk your fingers back toward the midline of your body. Take a breath in. And as you take your breath out, Twist to the other side, left or right, whatever. Spider walk your fingers to the other side, however far feels good. Both bottom cheeks stay down. Spider walk your fingers back to the midline of your body and bring your shoulders up over your hips. Big hug time. Tee out your arms. Let the backs of your hands go to the back of your room. And then when you're ready, give yourself a big hug. Arms crisscross in front of your body, elbows crisscross or stack. Reach your fingers towards your spine. Your ears are up next to your shoulders are up next to your ears for a moment. Soften those shoulders down away from the ears. And then think of expanding your shoulders to the side of the room. Feel the goodness in the upper back here. Nice tight squeeze, nice tight hug. Hello to Lori. Yes, I am ready. I am ready to move. That's for sure. Hello, Lori. Hello, Tammy. Hello, Stan, Lynn, Tyrone, Lisa, Kelly, Margarita, Tina, Rena, Nancy. Nice to see you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Tight squeeze in that hug. Tee out your arms. Again, open up to possibilities of a good life. And then bring your hands down to your knees. Breathe in. Sigh it out, let it go. Switch out your legs. I don't know how you're sitting, but just change how you are seated. Maybe put a little more of a bend in your knees if your legs are extended. Maybe try that on for size. I was in Sukhasana pose, so I'm going to take the other half of Sukhasana by bending the legs and bringing the opposite leg on top. Settle the block in under the knee if that feels better, and then, over time, maybe you can work it away. It's up to you. Hands back to your knees, close your eyes, and breathe. With each exhale, think of the shoulders getting softer. With each inhale, think of lengthening up through the crown of your head as you're seated nice and tall. Deepen your breaths. When you're ready, let the arms just float on up to the sky. Think extended mountain arms. Reach, lift, no worry, no hurries here. Maybe put a little bend in your elbows. Just stay rooted in your bottom. Lift your fingers, maybe give them a little bit of a wiggle too. Breathe in, breathe out. Arms float on down by your sides. You can keep your eyes closed here. It's just kind of nice to just go through the movements without having distractions with the eyes. Bring your hands behind your hips. Lift your chest up to the sky. Chin up too. Chin up. Always good. Chin up. Keep that knee down. Keep your bottom down. Imagine you're looking right up to the sky. Maybe waiting for a raindrop to hit you right between the eyes. And when you're ready, shoulders over your hips. Nice little back bend there. Let's do the forward fold part. Hello, Betty. Hello, Bobby. Hello, Rena. Reach your arms forward. Slide the block forward or no block at all. Breathe in, take your time. Breathe out, push the block forward. Or, just use your hands. Now you're going to feel the nice big stretch in the opposite hip, the hip of the leg that is on top. Send your breath to that hip. Don't sweat it. If it hurts, back out of it a little bit. If it's just uncomfortable, hang with it. Breathe in, breathe out. Sigh it out. There's peace in that audible sigh out of your mouth. Chin a little more to your chest. Reach the block a little further forward. Space in the hip. Send your breath to that hip. Just feel what you feel. And then slowly pull the block back up, shoulders over your hips. Maybe no block at all. Totally fine. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. That's spider walk. Bring your hands down to your mat. Spider walk your fingers, maybe to the right. maybe, just hang out here. They don't have to go very far. Maybe you can take them farther as you take this twist a little deeper. Keep both bottom cheeks down. Hollow out the belly with that full exhale. Then maybe you can take your twist a little deeper. Spider walk, the fingers back to your midline. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And as you exhale, spider walk the fingers to the left. They don't have to go very far. Do what's comfortable for you. Inhale. Big full exhale deepens the twist. Maybe. Slowly walk your spider fingers back to the midline, then come on back up with your shoulders over your hips. Hands to your knees. Take a deep breath in. A deep breath out. Let it go. Time for a big hug. It's always time for a big hug. Tee out your arms. Backs of your hands to the back of the room. Chest lifts. Hold it here. Big hug. Bring the arms forward. Crisscross the elbows at the midline. Hug yourself. Bring your fingers towards your spine. Nice tight squeeze, and then soften the shoulders away from the ears. Bring them down, and then expand your shoulders to the sides of your room. Hold it here. Feels great. You could stay here longer. You can do anything you want. Maybe hold the hug longer. I'm going to take the hug to the other side. Tee out the arms again. Oh, nice shoulder expansion, chest expansion. Bring the opposite arm on top now. Crisscross the elbows, same thing. Fingers work towards your spine. Soften the shoulders down. Expand the shoulders to the sides. All right, we have that private group on Facebook. Give yourself a good hug here. We have that private book on Facebook. It's called Friends of 316 Yoga. In that private Facebook group, I'll let you in. All you got to do is ask. Posted an article today about kind of what we're talking about just loving yourself, stopping the self-criticism, and, just taking care of yourself, telling yourself those positive things, because you're better than you think you are. Don't get hung up on the negative. That's no fun. Not healthy either. Not healthy for your body. All right, release the hug. Everybody deserves a hug. And let's come out of this pose. Whichever pose you're in, come into your child's pose. We're going to go from child's pose to a tadpole to a frog. Okay, so just widening the legs and working on those muscles inside your thighs, your adductor muscles. All right, so for your child's pose, let's just gently spread the knees a little bit. Bring your big toes to touch. Sink your hips back to your heels. And if you prefer to keep your knees together for a classic child's pose, that's fine too. But I want to get into the shoulders because we did some stuff with the shoulders, and I think we can do a little more today. So maybe spread the knees a little bit. Try it on for size. Use your block if you want to bring your forehead down to it. And reach your arms to the top of your mat. We had a nice long big hug, so maybe the shoulders feel comfortable doing this. You could also remove your block from underneath your head. You could have no block at all, or you could take your block or both blocks to the top of your mat and put your hands on them. And then sink your head down, even farther. So the blocks bring the ground up to you. Maybe you've got that shoulder mobility today where you can bring your forehead down to the mat and your hands on your blocks. And if you don't like it, what to do? You don't have to do the blocks at all. You could put a bend in your elbows. That's fine too. You do what speaks to your body today. Listen to your body. Don't get hung up in the head with what you think you can or can't do. Really try to observe what your body's doing and what it can do. And let it go. Let the doubts go in your mind and let the body do its thing. Push your hands into the mat a little bit more. Breathe in, breathe out. And as you're ready, if you're ready, work your knees a little farther apart. You might want to turn your body, 90 degrees so you have the mat fully underneath your knees. It's up to you. So just widen the knees a little bit. Keep your big toes together still for a while. Now would be a good time if you want to just really settle into the body. I'm going to spread my knees wider. To close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose. It helps you build heat in your body and it helps you focus inward. If you like that, try it on for size. If you don't like it, breathe any way you like, but just try to keep your breaths good and deep. All right, so we went from a wide-legged child's pose to even wider, which we call tadpole pose. And if you want, start to work your toes away from each other, bringing your shins a little more parallel to the sides of your mat. That is your full frog pose. Send your tailbone a little more to the back of your mat. And breathe. And don't fight the urge to run from the pose. Don't think, ooh, I can't. If it's not painful, stay here for a little bit, and you might just ease into it. You might pass that threshold of discomfort. Not a super comfortable pose, that's for sure. At least for me, maybe it is for you. But it's doable. Breathe in. Breathe out. You can stay here longer if this is just kind of starting to work its magic for you. But I'm going to come out of it and I'm going to do cat-cow for the spine. Your call. All right. So I'm going to bring my hands under my shoulders, going to bring my knees in under my hips, and create that neutral tabletop. With your back nice and long and straight, push the tops of your feet into your mat and push your hands into the mat too. So you feel like your back is a nice flat tabletop, including your head. You don't want to have your chin down. Keep your head nice and straight, all in line, from your tailbone all the way through the crown of your head. Take a deep breath in as you push the ground away. Take a deep breath out as you settle into the earth. And when you're ready, let's do cat-cow. Tuck your chin to your chest when you take your next exhale and tuck your tailbone under too. Arch your back up to the sky and let that feel good in the shoulders, all up through the back. Exhale, cow pose. Let your tailbone come up. Ooh, let that feel good in your low back. And you're moving your neck so the crown of your head is up toward the sky. So neck movements going on here. Exhale, tuck under. Inhale, open up. You got the neck movements going, you got the low back moving, you got the mid back going. The whole spine is moving, and that's what you want to do. You want to awaken the spine. All right, this is your cat-cow. Keep it up as long as you like. I'm going to come back to that neutral tabletop. I'm going to extend my right leg long, press the ball of the foot into the mat. I think that feels really nice. Maybe you do too. Hold it here. When you're ready, lift that extended right leg up, cross the midline of the body, squeeze in the upper inner thighs, plant the ball of the foot down on the opposite side of your body, and feel the big stretch in your right side. Dial your right hip down. Both hands are pressed equally into the mat. Nice stretch on the right. Look over your left shoulder back to your foot or your knee or your bottom. Sweep the right leg around now. Bring your gaze over your right shoulder. Bring the leg around. Plant the foot solidly. Lift the right arm up and take an open arm twist here. So you're looking up to the sky, little twist, leg is extended. Look up to your hands. Your hand, your single hand, the one that's up to the sky. Bring the hand back down to the mat. Sweep the leg back around. Knee meets knee. Other side, left leg extends, plant the ball of the foot, press into the ball of the foot, let that stretch feel good. Kind of reminds you of a toes pose, doesn't it? Hold it here. When you're ready, with this leg that is extended, lift it up, cross the midline of the body, plant the ball of the foot down on the right side, look to the right side of your mat, look over your right shoulder, see if you can see your foot, or back to your knee. Breathe here. Nice big stretch on the left side. Sweep the extended left leg around. Plant the foot down. Maybe at hip height, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, whatever feels good in that hip. Left arm lifts up to the sky. Look up to the left fingers. Keep pushing the earth away. Look on up. You got it. Sweep the left hand down. Bring the left knee back to meet the right. Let's do a broken wing pose. All right, back to the shoulders. From your neutral tabletop, lift your right arm up, look up to the fingers. Exhale, sweep the right arm under the left. Come on down, right cheek to your block or to the mat as you let the right arm go underneath the left. Reach the left arm long and rest your head on either the block or your mat. Adjust your knees. Everybody's knees and leg length is different. So adjust so you're comfortable. So your bottom's kind of sticking up in the air, kind of like a puppy pose. Left arm is reaching straight and long to the top of your mat. Right arm is crossed under your body. You kind of get that same sensation in your shoulder that you do when we do that big hug pose, don't you? Reach the fingers longer, stretch it out. This is a little more intense than a big hug though, isn't it? Broken wing pose. No, this isn't broken wing. This is thread the needle. This is thread the needle. Breathe in, breathe out. Now a broken wing pose is even more intense. We'll do that another day. All right, you might be saying this is plenty intense. Let's come out of it. Unthread the needle, bring the left arm under the left shoulder. Right arm goes high, look up to that hand. Plant both hands together. Other side, left arm, sweep it up to the sky, look up to the sky, look up to the hand. And then exhale, sweep it under, thread the needle here, right arm reaches, left shoulder comes down to maybe the block, maybe the cheek comes down to the block or to the mat. Adjust your knees, wiggle them so you know what's right. Left arm reaches to the right side of your room, right arm reaches high to the top of your mat. Breathe in, breathe out. Deep breaths. Settle in. Let it feel right for you. All right, unthread the needle. Slide your right hand under your right shoulder. Left arm goes high, back up to the sky. Plant both hands down. Take a cat-cow. Chin to chest, tailbone under. Bring it on back. Cat-cow, cow pose, crown of the head, and tailbone lift. All right. Let's go down to a broken wing. Come on down to your belly. Tee out your right arm. Left arm is bent, left hand under your left shoulder. Arm is teed out, hand to about shoulder height. Roll onto the right hip, bringing your head down to your mat, or use your block too if you want, or maybe even a rolled up towel feels good. Left hand, think of it like an elevator. Pushing into it a little bit more intensifies the stretch in the right shoulder. And then slacken off a little bit. Detensifies. How's that? It makes the pose a little bit softer. You do what feels good for you. Legs can remain long on your mat. Adopt that little fetal position if you like. Keep the bottom leg straight if you want. Top leg, bend it. Put the sole of the foot in front of the extended leg and let the knee go up to the sky. Another way to intensify the pose. You could also take that top leg, plant the ball of the foot behind the extended leg and drive the knee up to the sky. Do what you like, do what feels good. Get that good stretch going in that shoulder. So all of these things, big hug, a little kinder, a little gentler. Your thread the needle, a little more intense. And most intensely, this one, this broken wing pose. All right, roll onto your belly. Bring the right arm into a bent position. I'm gonna switch sides here. Extend your left arm long. And you might even like a little bit of a bend in that left elbow. It's up to you. What feels right? I'm going to bring my arms straight to about shoulder height. Right arm's going to be bent. I'm going to roll onto my left hip and get into the shoulder here. Now it's up to you what you want to do as far as intensity goes. Remember, you got the power in that bent arm. You can have your legs in a variety of positions. You decide which pose speaks to you today. Let your eyes close. as you feel the intensity of this broken wing pose. And again, a great opportunity to distinguish between pain and discomfort. Pain you never want to experience. Come out of it. There's no value in experiencing that. If it's just uncomfortable, stick with it. Breathe. This is your broken wing pose. You may have seen this too done standing. You can stand up against a wall. So like imagine your mat is your wall and your feet are on the ground. You put the shoulder up against the wall and you can press into the wall here. Another way to do your broken wing any time of day. All right, so there you go. Nice shoulder mobility today. Roll on down to your belly. Oh, bend the arms, press on up with your hands underneath your collarbones. Press on up to that seal pose. Soften in your glutes, your spine saying thank you. And when you're ready, let's come on down to your back. All right, we're all down on the ground today. No balancing, but oh my, are you going to get some good stretches going. All right, so what I would like for you to do, if you want to do it, is you're seated now. Okay, give your shoulders a little bit of a wiggle. And then come on down. Place a block at its stable height at the bottom of your mat. Bring your shoulder or your strap up to about shoulder height, and then recline here. Bring it on down, bring the soles of your feet together to touch, and open up your feet to your pinky edge side. The pinky edge side of your foot should be on your mat. Or, if you're elevated on the block, it's on the block. Knees open wide, hold it here. Arms, cactus them out. Bring your elbows maybe to about shoulder height. If that doesn't work, take them down a little bit, or lift your arms, not such a bend in the elbows. You could snow angel your arms. You know that position. You're like a kid doing a snow angel. But you decide, I'm going to cactus my arms so they kind of look like football goalposts. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. So here, this is your reclined goddess with the elevated feet. You can stay right here. I'm going to bend my elbows a little bit more, and I'm going to bring my fingertips lightly to my temples. Then I'm going to do some little Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups with my feet elevated today. I'm going to let my chin guide up to the sky, and then I'm going to come on down. Little lifts, little lowers. And if you don't like the block under your feet, slip it out. I'm going to guide my chin up to the sky. I'm going to lift my elbows, keeping them open wide, and breathe. You can breathe in and out of your mouth here. Let some heat go. Let's lift the elbows up and let's pulse the chin up to the sky. Elbows open wide, knees open wide. With or without the block, your call. Little pulses of the chin. Up, up, up. And then let's finish. Come on down. All right, so you're down. Let's remove the block if you decided to use it. And let's do bicycle pose. All right, lots of variations here. Knees can be bent, soles of the feet can stay on your mat. You can lift your shoulders up and you can twist toward one knee. Let the opposite elbow pulse toward the opposite knee. You can go the other way too, maybe do 2 or 3 pulses, it's up to you. You could also come on down with the shoulders to the mat, knees over hips, and you can ride a recumbent bicycle if you want to get into the hips and legs. I'm going to put them all together by lifting the shoulders, and I'm going to pulse with a bent knee, with the elbow and bent knee going toward each other a couple of times. Then switch. The other leg extends, twist, and pulse a few times to the opposite knee. So, back and forth a couple of times. You decide how you like it. Little gentle pulses. Get those abs on fire. And then finish. Come on down, send your legs long, arms overhead, stretch it out in your stick pose. Point your toes to the bottom, reach your fingers to the top, breathe in, breathe out, stretch it out. Find that strap that you brought up near your shoulders and bring the center of the strap underneath the soles of your feet. Send your legs high up to the sky. Hold on to the straps like reins of a horse and hug your elbows in. A little bend in your knees might feel good. Maybe you want to just hang out here. I'm going to do boat pose with the strap because yesterday we did it without the strap. And I said today I'd do it with the strap just so you can see. It's a fine option to take. All right, so think of your heels as super heavy. Let the heels through those straightened legs or with a little bend in the knees, whatever feels good, come to about 45 degrees. And right about here, you can really feel your tailbone when we talk about your tailbone all the time. So send your hips back up to the sky, or feet back up to the sky, and the tailbone comes off of the mat. Then send them to about 45 degrees, and right about there, you feel the tailbone on your mat. All right, so that's enough there. Let's come on up. Let the shoulders peel up, let the heels come down, and take it nice and slowly. Try to do it with your core and not momentum. All right, sometimes we do it with momentum when we rock and roll up, and that's fine too. But you need that strong core too. You need to shake it up and do something different. Hug your elbows in, legs can be straight. I'm gonna walk my hands down my strap a little bit more. Chest is lifted, back is flat. Hold on here. Sit back as if you were in a recliner. That sounds pretty good. Hold on here. Maybe you'd like to put a bend in your knees, but keep your chest lifted. Balance here. You've got it. Lean back a little bit more maybe. All right. Let's remove this strap. You can keep your legs lifted, remove the strap, or maybe you bring your feet down. It's all good. Let's row the boat. Twist from one side to the other. You can bring your feet down. You know, yesterday we did it with the feet lifted in a boat pose. Totally fine to keep the feet down. Twist from side to side. Maybe feet up a little bit, maybe feet up a lot. Do your little twist, row your little boat. All right, good news. We're going to come on up to seated. From your seated position, send your legs long, toes up to the sky. Seated forward fold. Arms lift up like those extended mountain arms. Give your fingers a wiggle. And then hinge forward here. Parallel arms. Reach, reach, reach to the front of your room. Maybe capture your feet, your ankles, hug the elbows in. Whatever you can reach, go for it. You could even use your strap just to work through this. You could use your strap under the soles of your feet and hinge forward. What you're wanting to do here is to just fold the chest closer to your thighs. Just, right? The word just. Maybe take your towel and use that as a strap if you don't have a strap yet, and fold forward. Finish up, bring your shoulders up over your hips. Let's come into a pentacle pose. Oh, this is a treat. So take your time, just like how we felt the tailbone, just to kind of explore a little bit. Same thing here, just explore a little bit and just enjoy the feeling of coming all the way down as you come into pentacle pose. So all the way down, intentionally. Arms lift overhead. You decide how this feels in the shoulders. Maybe we worked the shoulders enough today that this is more doable. If it's not so great, tee out the arms or snow angel them. Bring the heels to the edges of your mat. So maybe, kind of, sort of, work toward being a capital letter X shape. So if someone were to look down on your body from above, you'd look like the letter X. Breathe in, breathe out. This is a great resetting pose. And don't worry about how the X looks. You do what's right for your shoulders. You do what's right for your hips. Maybe let your pinky toes fall more to the edges of your mat. Breathe in, breathe out. This is your pentacle pose. Stay here longer if you like. I'm going to go through that little sequence of a banana asana pose. So, stay here if you want, or join me in Banana Asana. So if you want to do that, bring your heels together. Bring your arms up overhead. So you're in a stick pose now, stretching everything you got. Now think of the shape of a banana. They're not very curvy, and we're going to do that with our bodies. So bring your heels to the right corner of your mat, or close to it, but keep your both hips down. That left hip, you know, if the left hip is starting to roll over, don't do that. Decrease the curve of your banana. Keep both hips down. Reach long through your fingertips. Feel the nice stretch in your armpits. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist, and give it a gentle little tug. Keep both shoulders down. And just hold here. So a nice big stretch all up your left side. That left heel, if you want to cross it over your ankle, you can do that too. Just feel what you feel on your whole left side here. Ooh, from your fingertips of your left hand all the way down through the armpit, through the intercostal muscles between the ribs, all the way down through your IT band, all the way down to your little toe. Big stretch. You can increase the intensity of the pull if you like. And then let's release. Oh, when you release it, what a difference it makes, right? Release the wrist, release the ankles, walk them back to the midline, stretch it out, reset here. Everything back to the middle. And then other side. Walk your heels to the left as best is for you to allow you to keep that right hip down. Walk your hands, maybe the palms are touching to begin, to the top left corner of your mat. Ooh, keep the right shoulder down. Feel the big stretch here. Left hand grabs your right wrist and gives it a gentle little tug. Perhaps the right leg lifts and you cross at the ankles. Soften in your jaws, unclench the jaws, just be at peace in your face too. Nice big stretch, a lateral flexion of your spine. Maybe you want to stay here longer. Maybe you're still in your child's pose. It's all good. It's all good. It's just time for you, and that's what matters. I'm going to release my hands back up to the top of my mat. I'm going to release my legs, bring everything back to the midline of my body. I'm going to stretch it out in a stick pose. How are the shoulders doing? I bet they're doing great. Supine twist. Bend your right knee. Take your arms, float them down by that right knee. Maybe you'll use a towel under your right knee if you'd like, if your arms can't quite reach, but grab to the knee. Maybe grab behind the knee, low on the hamstring, or maybe interlace your fingers and hug underneath the right knee, high on the shin. Your left leg, draw the left toes. The left leg's the long, straight one. Draw the toes toward the shin and let your heel go more toward the bottom of your mat as you feel the lengthening in the front of that left leg. Your arms are strong. Hug the right knee in. Circle the ankle in one direction, then the other. Hug it in good and tight. Here comes the twist part. Left hand holds the right knee and you twist to the left. Roll on to the left hip. Right arm, tee it out. Look to the right. Keep the right shoulder down. Shoulder flexibility, mobility, we've got it today. Our core is strong. We did some pulses there. Pulses always seem to make the core stronger. Nice twist here. Mobility in your hips. Finish up. Bring your right hip down. Hug the right knee in, however works for you. Just hug it in. Release the right leg long on your mat. Drive the heel to the bottom of the mat. Draw your toes up good and strong towards your shin. Left leg, it's turn to bend. Hands, capture wherever you can capture to pull that knee in. I'm going to interlace my fingers underneath my left knee. Pull it in good and tight. Circle the ankle of the left leg around and around. Good tight squeeze here. Right hand now takes the left knee. You roll onto your right hip as far as you want to go. Hand is encouraging that left knee down and left arm tees out. I'm going to look to the left. Left shoulder stays down. Gaze is as far left as feels right. Nice twist in your body. Left hip comes down. Hug the left knee in. Again, you got it. Both legs go long on the mat. back to your pentacle pose. Arms overhead or whatever works. Capital letter X, breathe in, breathe out. Stay here if you want. Arms float down by your sides, roll over onto your belly. We'll do a couple things to strengthen the spine. Roll onto your belly, enjoy the getting there, it just feels good. Remember how your arms were in your extended child's pose? Reach them long to the top. We're gonna do Superman. Bring your chin, your nose, your forehead down to the mat, whatever works. Legs spread a little bit, not a lot, not real close, just whatever's comfortable, wherever they are is great. Lift maybe one leg up or the other, or lift them both up. Think of Superman and how he flies. Maybe lift the legs a little higher so you feel as though you're balancing on your pelvis. Maybe add in an arm or the other arm or both arms. Lift a little higher, fly a little stronger, hold on here. Breathe in, breathe out, maybe hold a little while. Sometimes we take it to swimmer. That's up to you. That's a Pilates move. If you want to do that, you can start to kick your back legs. I'm going to stay right here in a nice, solid, strong, stable Superman pose. Maybe lift a little higher, hold. Breathe. And then finish. Come on down with the Superman pose. Bend the elbows, hands underneath your collarbones. Press on up to a seal pose. Straight arms. Soften in your glutes. Breathe. Come on up to a gentle camel pose. Knees underneath your hips. Hips underneath your shoulders. So you're essentially standing on your knees, hands to your low back. Squeeze your elbows towards your spine. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe look a little higher to the ceiling. You don't have to go any farther. Yesterday we took a full camel where you grab onto the heels. If that's what you want to do, go right ahead. Today, taking it a little bit easier. It's all good. That's what our Wednesday practice is. Gentle, soft stretches and movements to increase your flexibility and mobility. Come have a seat on your heels. Grab a drink if you like. Hands back to prayer center. Your mantra, what was it? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it go. Swing your legs around. Send them long onto your mat. Toes up to the sky, have your blocks nearby. Lift your arms up to the sky. Maybe you use a strap here as we take this seated forward fold. Parallel arms reach to the front of your room. Think of finding space in your low back. Reach. Maybe grab your ankles, your calves, whatever. Hug the elbows in. Maybe use a strap and pull it. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold your spine in half, reaching your chin toward your chest, your forehead toward your knees. And then finish. Shoulders over your hips. Find your 2 yoga blocks. You might want to stay here for a while. Spread your legs wide. Bring your 2 yoga blocks in between your legs, those adductor muscles. Nice and strong. Hold on here and get a nice stretch in the inner thighs. Adjust your blocks to whatever height you like and then rest here. Forearms on the blocks at whatever setup you got, or maybe you bring your forehead to the blocks. In your setup, your variation, whatever works for you. Maybe a little bit of a bend in the knees is right. You know what's right. Breathe in. Breathe out. Shoulders are soft away from the ears. You can stay here longer if you like. It's totally up to you. I'm going to move into a side plank just because we want to activate that core one more time. So stay here in your wide-legged forward fold if you like. I'm going to come into a side plank. Not going to stay long. I'm not even going to set a timer today. So come on to one hip or the other. Bend that side, the low side's arm, so the forearm is parallel to the top of your mat. Spread your fingers wide. You can press on up and stay on your knees. Totally fine. You can send your legs straight and press on up. The big thing here is you want to keep your elbow under your shoulder. You can have a hand on a hip. You can have a hand as a kickstand, or you can lift your arm up to the sky. Not going to stay here long. Just try it and see. Most days we set a timer for about a minute so you can time yourself, but we're taking it easy today. Come on down to your hip if you're not already there and switch sides. Just prove to yourself that you can do this. All right, other side. That forearm gets bent, so it's parallel to the top of my mat. Fingers spread wide for that balance. You can stay on your knees, lift up here. Maybe press the hips up while still on that bottom knee and lift the arm. Totally good. You can do this. I'm gonna extend my legs. You could kind of kickstand your legs too, or glue your ankles together. Lift on up, look on up to your hand. Keep your hips nice and lifted. You're pressing into that forearm. You're strong. You can do this. You can do it. Breathe. We do lots of different variations of plank other days as well, so check us out. All right, let's come on down. Nice job. All right, so 2 more poses and you're going to be done. Or maybe you're still in child's pose. That's good too. We do a fish pose. For your fish pose, 2 blocks. It's going to open you up in the chest. 2 blocks in a T shape. The horizontal block is going to be a pillow for your head. The other block, the vertical block, is about 6 or 8 inches away, so your neck can be here in between. This is going to go between my shoulder blades. So, already think about this for a second. If you want to stay in this for your final Shavasana, maybe put the blocks at their more stable height and grab your eye shade. All right, so I'm going to come to recline. I'm going to do fish, then I'm going to do Shavasana. I'm going to come to recline here, adjust this vertical block so it's between your shoulder blades. You don't want it down on your mid-back. You want it between the shoulder blades. Think of squeezing the shoulder blades together to hug that block. The other block, the one at the top, and you're going to have to move them. You're going to have to adjust them. Nobody gets it right the first time. Bring your arms down by your sides. Rest your head on that second block. Arms wherever you like. Think snow angel again. Maybe you like teeing them out. Maybe you like keeping them a little closer to your body. It's your call. Legs can be long on your mat. Just be sure that your bottom is down on the mat. You don't want it hanging out in space. If it's hanging out in space, it might indicate that you've got the block way too low. If you can't get that natural curvature of your spine and your low back. So scoot your block up higher between the shoulder blades. Legs long or knees bent to alleviate any tension on your low back. Knees open to the sides of your room. Remember when we did that reclined goddess pose early on and we had the block underneath our feet? Same thing. Bring the soles of your feet to touch, roll your feet onto the pinky edge side of the foot, and open the knees up. Maybe that feels good. Big sensation you're going for here, the big focus here, is the chest. How does it feel? Should feel nice and open and just, capable of taking such great deep breaths. Deep breath in, feel the strength in your breath. And a deep breath out. So this is a great pose for your posture. It's called a supported fish pose. What this does, think about your shoulders. Think of how far back your shoulders are. Oh, how wonderful that feels. How good it is for your standing posture. All right, stay here longer if you like. Here's another refinement you could take. You could bring your head on down, bring the block down a little bit lower. So stay here if you want. I'm going to roll off the blocks and come into a brief final Shavasana pose. So you can stay on the blocks if you want. It's just to give you a taste of the blocks. Or come on down to your back. Final Shavasana pose. This is where you just let it all go and just be at peace. Legs long on your mat, heels wherever, maybe legs a little spread, arms by your sides, palms face up or palms face down if you feel you need that grounding. Cover your eyes with your eye shade or your little towel. Just block out the light, let the world go. Wiggle your shoulders a little closer to your spine if you're off of your fish blocks. Let it go. Be at peace. Eyes are closed. Eyes are heavy in the eye sockets. Pinky toes, maybe let them fall a little bit open again to open up the hips. Your practice, your place, your time, doing it your way. It's so important. Doesn't matter how your poses look. I think sometimes we worry about that in a studio. You worry about, am I doing it like they're doing it? There's always somebody in that class who's out there doing a handstand when everybody else is doing something a little less intense. But they always command your attention. At home, you do it your way to what feels good for the one and only body you have. Take care of it. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Sigh it out, let it go. If you got your remote control handy, you can push the pause button and stay here longer in your final Shavasana pose. All kinds of good things happen in this pose as you really relax and really release and just let everything go. Your body creates a memory of the movements that it made over the last hour. So enjoy your final Shavasana longer if you like. If it's time to conclude your day, start to wiggle, or conclude your practice, not your day. Maybe it is. Maybe you're doing this at the end of the day. Time to conclude your practice. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, circle the ankles, circle the wrists. Inhale, reach high overhead. How do the shoulders feel? Take a big good morning stretch as if it were the first stretch before you get out of bed in the morning. Wiggle your hips. Reach one arm higher to the top of your room and then the other arm higher. Reach, wiggle your fingers. Bend your elbows and your knees and roll to one side or the other into your fetal position. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your heads. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Rise on up using your hands or not. It's up to you. Come to a comfortable seat. Hands to prayer center. Lengthen up. And then soften up. All right, open your eyes. Stress number, what was it? Kick it to the curb. What is it? That's great. It is down and that's good. All right, as you go on with your day, love yourself and the path that you're on. Make peace with your body and be kind to you. All right, Piper, come here. There's a Tibetan saying I love. It's the secret of living well and living longer is to eat half, walk double, and laugh triple, and love without measure. And love yourself without measure. See you on your mats tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye. Hi. See ya. Good on you. You finished another practice. Awesome job. What can you leave on your mat today? After every practice this week, what can you leave on your mat that just isn't serving you anymore? Focus on the good, be happy, and leave the other stuff behind. Our practice, you're here. It's free for anybody and everybody. Tell your friends about our practice. Everybody can benefit from the yoga. It's all good. If you'd like to support our broadcast, check out our website. It's www.316.com. See you on your mats tomorrow and leave all the other stuff behind that doesn't serve you well. You deserve that. See you tomorrow.